You know, whenever we get that frame rate, whenever I see my frame rate come back, I know that XSplit has crashed. I really need to do some tests on that to make sure that this doesn't happen when I'm actually casting people. So this will be my last cast of the night, and I will try to make it a good one. We do have a rematch in between two Zergs, and I will introduce them now. Once again, in yellow in the top left corner, we have a Zerg that's trying to redeem himself. Will he upgrade when necessary? We'll see. We have BL Turner, and on his opponent in the lower right, we have in pink, sporting the hot pink, our Zerg Christian. Will he be able to win this one? We'll see. Will Ben be able to get his revenge? Looks like only his dancing drone knows, as he rally points himself in and out between the drones, trolling his way through. When you think he's going, he's not, as we see again, a extractor first spawning pool from Christian at about 14. Looks like, again, Christian might be going for an early either Baneling, or we might even see roaches from him. I expected roaches last game. Didn't see them. We might see something a little different, considering that Ben might expect that to happen. We do have early Zerglings coming out from Ben, and it seems like we're going to have a rush from Ben. Not a 6 pool, but we do have a good amount of Zerglings coming down. He's going to pass the Dharma Gate on the island, and does Christian know what's coming? It doesn't seem like his Overlord saw it at all. We're going to follow these Zerglings down to Christian's base, and we look at our production here. We do have 4 Zerglings coming out for Christian. We'll see if they can be macroed enough or microed enough to see to take out the spine crawler and those Zerglings. It looks like the spine crawler is going to be canceled, and now the micro starts. We have a few. It looks like only one of those Zerglings survived that first rush, and there we go. The rush has been stopped, and it doesn't seem like Ben will be able to do anything with that. We do have Queens out, trying to take out some supply, which would actually be pretty detrimental at this point to Christian. Christian is working on a few more drones and metabolic boost, so the loss of this Overlord would put him at a supply cap. Speaking of supply, they're both the same right now, as Ben moves out with 4 more Zerglings. And I'm not sure what he wants to do with these 4 Zerglings, considering that, larger number 6 wasn't able to get the job done. Looks like Christian does lose that Overlord, so he's going to have to produce another Overlord forced. He's not going to be able to get any units out, which could be a great boon for Ben as he comes in. We still don't have a Spine Crawler, but we do have a Queen. And all those drones are going to come out. It doesn't seem like those Zerglings are going to pose much of a problem. A little lost mining time, but not much. And it seems like all is going to be well from Christian's standpoint. We have another Overlord coming out, and he is still supply blocked, but there should be one more coming. It looks like Christian is going to focus on a hatch, but will get caught by all the Zerglings and not be able to get it down. That drone will be killed, as we have now about 8 Zerglings coming in to try again and take out the Queen first, and probably that Spine Crawler. We got about 4 Zerglings coming out to try and counteract, but it seems like that Ben will have a much better chance now at taking out some drones. Well, scratch that. Looks like the Spine Crawler is going to finish, and a good amount of Zerglings are going to finish as well. So with that said, Ben is unable to convert again. Looks like we have our counterattack setting up with about 6 or 7, no, 4, no, 11 Zerglings coming across, passing the island, and they're about to run into Ben's brand new mate, or Ben's brand new natural. He'll get caught in front of some other Zerglings. They shouldn't be a problem for him. And here we go. 2 Queens coming out trying to counteract the attack. The Zerglings are going to come for them instead. Queens start to running away. He's going to take one queen down and before running away because of the spine tumors, spine crawlers. And looks like there are 2 spine crawlers that are moving in. But I wonder if it'll be enough time to get rid of those zerglings before this hatchery is taken out. It looks like it will. And Ben's hatchery survives with only 1/5 of his health left. Again, as if this were touch football, we have Christian fumbled, and now Ben's on the attack. As he tries to once again get the natural off of Christian, and it seems like he will succeed in doing so, as there are 8 zerglings ready to come out, but nothing out at the moment. This attack will be successful, and Christian does cancel it at the last minute. The drone seems to be just run over rather than bit at, and we have a little standoff between 2 pretty even zergling armies. Doesn't seem like Ben had to be kind of slapped in the face before he would notice that his Zerg was being provoked. Doubles up on Zerg and starts moving in. So he's going to attack on more fronts than he really needs to, so he's going to try and sneak around the base, take out the Zerglings, but he's still just out of range of the Spine Crawler. He's going to focus on taking out the Zerglings, gets in the range of the Spine Crawler again. Looks like he is going to take out that Queen. It's going to be a pretty big loss for Christian, considering it's still 2 bases against 1. This hold might be for naught. We do have 8 more Zerglings coming out, and Ben seems to have transitioned into roaches. Well, now Christian is relegated to just building another queen out and getting his expansion back up. Our roaches come in to sub in for the Zerglings, and those spine crawlers move up to the front of the creep to make sure that they can do enough protecting. Once again, the natural of Christians is in danger. And they'll run right into that spine crawler. We got 2 spine crawlers poking with another one coming up. The Zerglings are moving in and out. It seems like Christian has caught up. Even though he is down in supply by about half. Just Christian's micro just seems to be winning out over Ben's. Ben's very apprehensive about moving in, so he's going to wait for some more reinforcements from about 20 or so Zerglings. Oh, nope. More like 10 Zerglings and about 8 more roaches. Ben does have enough money to get upgrades. Again, upgrades being what the tipping point of last game. It looks like he's going to focus solely on units and solely on overwhelming Christian and keeping the pressure on. Seems like he's easily again able to take out or deny the expansion, even though Christian is able to cancel it again in time. We're going to have a good amount of roaches going after these spine crawlers, and I do believe this is it. After he comes in, I don't think Christian has much to go against. He doesn't have any Baneling's Nest. He doesn't have anything that he can do splash damage. And it looks like that would be GG from Christian. And that'll be it for this game. And let's see. Alright, okay, this is gonna be my last one. Sorry for the silence, guys, just getting some water down. And our last match of the night is gonna be a ZVT. In our top left corner here, at the who's apparently going for a 10 pool. Oops, all caps. We have our winner of the last match, and seemingly gonna see if he's gonna be able to do it against our opponent, Taryn. We have Ben Turner. And in the lower right, he's I believe 0-2 tonight, but looking to get his first win of the night before killing the ladders like he was able to do the last time. And he goes by Eric Flow, and down goes a refinery for him. Very normal build for a Terran. One Rax refinery. He's probably going to go a single Rax expand, which is what he's been doing as of late, and bunker up the front. We got a rally forming by Eric, and if Ben doesn't counteract this with some Zerglings, then Eric will be able to get a lot of information out of this. So Queen's coming in, and that Queen will probably take care of the SCV. Our first Marine coming out. Not much of a sign of what he'll do next. Actually, he's sending out a tech lab, so he might get out some Marauders. Well, the SCV looked like it blocked itself, so you can go around the other way, Eric. Oh, no, we're going to have some Reaper action here. That's what the early gas was for. He's going to try and do a Reaper rush, and we'll see if Ben's Overlord can scoot north a little bit and see what he's doing, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. He's just going to sit himself up at the mineral line. Yep, he is definitely rallied to the mineral line. Got a Marauder out for... Actually, it seems like we have canceled the Reaper, and now we just have Marauders coming out in anticipation of some Roach play from Ben. Defensive Spine Crawler down, some Creep down. We don't have much in the way of units being outputted by Ben, which is a bit concerning considering how early Eric likes to push. Factory going down, Engineering Bay. Only one Engineering Bay this time. It's earlier than he usually does it. And it seems like we have our second barracks coming down. And will Eric play a 1-1-1? It'll be, again, interesting to see, considering this is something that I personally haven't seen from him too much. So we have some Zerglings patrolling a fairly normal expand for a Zerg player. Queen's going to come out, connect that, and he's going to upgrade to his lair. Again, there's no... It's all strictly tech and buildings at the moment. I'm going to get 2 evolution chambers out and really quickly, and a... it looks like a... Roach Warren. So Eric is definitely right in his assumption to go with Marauders. Definitely was paying attention to the last 2 games that Ben has played. These evolution chambers, Ben is now learning, and he's probably going to get some upgrades out pretty quickly, but unfortunately it won't matter if Eric pushes. Doesn't seem like he will, but his 3rd Rax is coming up, and he is going 1-1-1. Building a reactor on his starport and an armory for... He's probably just going to go straight up on the weapons tech, weapons upgrades. And as expected, he is going to move out before the 8-minute mark, and we'll see if he hits. 4 Zerglings is definitely not going to be enough, and 3 Roaches are on their way. We'll still, again, have to see if it's going to be enough, considering he is pushing with the timing that he'll be able to get to the other side by the time that that level 1 weapons comes in. Stops at the Dharma Tower, and it's probably just going to wait for that upgrade to finish before pushing. Also, probably timing Stim Pack as well. Oh, it seems like he's gonna get an early attack on and get that Overlord out of the way. Doesn't finish the job, unfortunately. That could have been that right there could have been really influential in this whole match, considering the fact that he would have been supply blocked. Looks like those Zerglings are gonna try and counteract this push here, and there are enough Zerglings to be able to do that. The one Marauder goes down, and the Zerglings are, even though they're slower, going to go off that other Marauder. We have the Medevac starting to come in, but it won't save that Marauder, as the Zerg meet the reinforcements, now fortified with the Medevac. Medevac's going to move out, and they're going to regroup just south of just southeast of Ben's ramp. Supply is pretty even right now. Same with no mineral collection. Ben's winning because of his expansion, but he could be definitely a lot farther ahead if he had more drones. In the drone count, we only have 27 drones, which should be a little bit over what, and now 24 drones, which is only a little bit over what you should have for a single base, let alone 2 bases. Defensive spines coming up, and again we have banelings as well, which is definitely a cornerstone of a marine counter. Seems like Eric did wait a little long for it, so he's going to could have waited a little longer. Apparently, those marines are quickly melted by the banelings, as Eric now retreats back to base, and Ben does the same. We have our set of roaches. Seems like we're focusing on roaches for the next few minutes. 5 on the way from Ben. We got 2 bases coming down from Eric and his natural, as well as a stealth base, a ninja base in the left corner of the map. Roach speed and weapons level 2 for Eric. Got 4 more units coming up for Eric, and now we're up to 20 Zerglings for Ben. But we actually haven't. No, we have used these, so we do have a 1-1 upgrades for. Oh nope, just 1-0 upgrades for those roaches. Another Overlord taken out. It's going to bring Ben close to supply blocked, so, but he is getting 2 Overlords to counteract that. Eric's going to use this time to focus on getting his expansions up, since he's pretty sure that Ben won't push, but we do have, on the contrary, we do have a good amount of units here ready to push. We have the creep expanding out, which definitely is useful for this matchup, with a lone Marauder watching this happen. Got mules down at the far left expansion with a good amount of SCVs at the natural. So in a few minutes we'll effectively have a 3-base to 2-base match, as now Ben's moving down to his tower. Get a bit of vision, quickly passes it, and it looks like he's going to attack the, or look for a natural rather, doesn't find it, or it looks for an expansion, doesn't find it, and he's going to have to break through the main door if he wants anything else, and he's quickly denied. Give chase for a little bit, as Ben's once again supply blocked at 100, but he has now has a lead by about 13 supply. Eric moves out his Marines and Marauders, and we're engaged. It looks like those roaches are taking out the marauders or the marines pretty quickly as they push out. We do have some banelings on the way. They don't have speed, so Eric might be able to juke his way out of this. Looks like Eric lost about 7-8 units in this skirmish, and those banelings aren't gonna. Oh, nope, they're not doing any damage as Eric is able to take care of them. The speed, which is just finishing now, didn't come in time for those banelings, but we do have one that actually manages to get the job done. Ben's going to focus on the natural. We have an overseer come up, and that natural is going to, the orbital is going to lift and head back into the main base, and nothing can shoot up. There's really nothing he can do about it. We have two overlords finding Eric's third expansion, and we're going to have those roaches progress over and take care of it. Slap Eric's hand for being greedy. As Eric moves in with his SCVs and his medevacs, I'm wondering why he's doing this. This is not what we'd call an all-in, as those SCVs are being picked off by the spine crawlers, and the queen is picking off the medevac, and the SCV is now just sitting pretty in the middle of Ben's base. It'll be quickly taken out by these zerglings or no, by these roaches that are surely coming out anytime soon. Roaches are almost done taking out Eric's expansion, and now it's a 2-base to 1-base game. Good amount of medevacs together. It looks like we're going to see a drop. So Eric's going to head north, and then probably north and then west to probably go after this expansion right here. Ben's third. Other than that, there's really nothing else. No, there are no transitions coming. It seems like it's going to be a fairly stable game from here on out. Unless Ben is able to hold off a few more of these attacks, or either player is able to hold off a few more of these attacks. Eric's going to skip the natural and go, or skip the third and go straight for the natural. We'll see what damage he's able to do here, and if Ben will be able to react in time. It seems like here's the drop. We'll go after the extractor first. Extractor is easily taken out. The drops are done, and the units move in. Queen's down first. We got the spines to deal with as well. And here comes the stream of reinforcements from Ben. It doesn't seem like they're headed directly for him, but now the surround is a very nice surround, and those marines are quickly blown up and taken care of by both banelings and roaches. It seems like this push is going to be stopped pretty quickly now, but it seems like that Eric has won the better half of this, considering the fact that he was able to take Ben's natural. It does have that third, though, and he does know about that third. He's just not acting about it yet, or acting on it as of yet. It's gonna rebuild that hatchery, put some spine or some sport crawlers just for the protection as he moves out his units for a possible counterattack. We have now we have Reapers and another load of Marines and Marauders for another drop. Eric is definitely heading the wrong way in this case, as he's going to pass right over Ben's army, and Ben is now alerted to the fact, and he'll have that creep to help him to get to his main base before Eric can do anything. Seems like Eric should have caught on to this and maybe prevented the drop, but it seems like Eric's going to commit to it anyway, and he's going to take out the sport crawler, and a good amount of these should take out a good amount of these zerglings, but the roaches seem to be taking out the marines instead. He is able to take 3 or 4 roaches before they're picked back up, and there's really nothing Ben can do about it. I'm going to have some more spores coming down, but once again, that's going to be a hit on Ben's economy. We only still have 43 drones for 2 bases, or now 3 bases, as he tries to recover the one that he had lost earlier. looks like Eric's going to finally take care of the expansion. Take out the queen pretty easily and take this expansion pretty easily. On that end, we also had another drop from Eric. Was able to bring a few roaches down to red, and then before he had to pick up, did lose a good amount of his army. He's going to focus on taking out the aggressors on his third base. He can easily do that with the medevacs following him for some reason. Medevacs are going to probably escape back down as Eric cautiously now takes his focuses on his natural. You have 11 Marines, 8 Marauders, with 3-3 ready, almost ready to be almost done, and Spire Tech at 23 minutes from Ben. Again, like as with his game with Christian. This is a very concerning move considering that he has invested so much, or rather, he actually hasn't invested that much in Roach Tech. He hasn't sped them up. He hasn't invested in Burrow at all. So it'll be interesting to see if this Mutalisk group will be able to turn the tide for him. At the moment, he just seems very preoccupied with fending off the constant rushes and pressure, the constant amount of pressure from Eric. We do have the third that's almost done, but that's about to change. Considering we have a fresh amount of units that are about to plop down, we got 3 armor about halfway, which will really come in handy soon. Those Mutalisks are going to be out, and they're going to chase those medevacs with those spine crawlers. One medevac is going to survive 2. He loses about 2 units in that medevac, and this third one's not going to be able to heal everybody. He's going to lose a good amount of units in this melee. That third medevac goes down now, and Eric's going to try and fight with all of his might with his 2-3 Marines and Marauders to try and take out as much as he can. Takes out two spore crawlers, and take out the queen very easily. Miracle sort of hero, sort of Marines and Marauders for staying alive there with some backup as well. We've got some Zerglings come out, but looks like, are they going to opt to base trade, or are they going to opt to... Nope. Looks like they're all going to die instead, and the natural is taken out, and we got a GG from Ben. Ooh. Very good game from Eric's point of view. Definitely kept on the pressure like 100% of the time. Right when he was able to get units, he was definitely pushing as much as possible. Ben was just preoccupied with defense, and unfortunately lost because of it. Also upgrades. Again, upgrades. Eric was at 3-2 or 3-3 by the end of that, and I don't think Ben had really invested much. So that we're gonna say I'm set, and good night all. I think my voice is set, so we will end it there, and ooh. Give Alex the cue that they're free and they're probably going to back out and let him in, but that is it for me for tonight. Got a good 6-7 games in, and hopefully next time I can figure out a way for what is this, for XSplit not to cancel my games. This is probably in 4 parts, and not because I wanted it to be in 4 parts. But that's it. I probably will not be casting for the rest of the week because I'll be going to an amazing anime conference in New Jersey to see an amazing J-pop group. If any, I got messages. If anything, what you will see on Avalonstar is the live stream of the event that my wife Jen and I are throwing, which is Hello Party 3. We're going to be streaming it on here at 8 at 8 at 10 p.m. on 10 p.m. PST on Saturday night. If you're 10 p.m. EST on Saturday night, 7 p.m. PST. If you're awake for that, or you'd like to see the shenanigans of a bunch of J-pop idol fans and what else I do for a living, then I do encourage you to tune into that. StarCraft viewing will hopefully, or StarCraft casting will hopefully resume next week, probably from San Francisco when I go visit my day job at GitHub. But until then, it's been a pleasure streaming for you all. Again, thank you to Daniel Lindsley for joining me tonight. I hope to have a lot more guests on, and I will sign off with that. Once again, thanks. It's Brian Veloso for Avalonstar Live. Take care and have a great night.